Hello everyone, welcome to the Sick of It, a special highlight from Best of BFM. I'm your host, Lisa. Best of BFM, or BOB for short, is a festival in celebration of students' projects from the Baltic Film Media and Art School at Tallinn University from the past year. For 2 weeks at our Supernova Cinema, we showcase projects made as a part of the BFM curricula. The festival ends with a gala where the top projects win awards. Right here at our show, we'll be meeting the young students from different programs who have screened their works, and we'll be getting into the thick of it, hearing all about their project, the creative process, and learn about their very own personal experiences on set and within their BFM program. Today, I will be speaking to the second-year audiovisual media students about their project In Her Shoes. But first, let's take a look on the short introductory clip of this movie. Welcome back. Here we are in our very cozy campfire corner, and I'm very glad to introduce you our guests. So Gergana, the director of In Her Shoes movie, and Oliver's the editor. Hello and welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
To see you.
Great. Let's start with the questions. My first question will be fairly simple, but at the same time a little bit difficult. What is In Her Shoes?
You have to answer this one.
In Her Shoes is a project we did during the course of genre-based TV series where we had a concept to work with and a story to explore within the concept. So In Her Shoes is part of a concept that was telling a story of a hotel room and the maid that works in it. The hotel maid being unable or unwilling to talk with the clients, with the visitors in the hotel, and her various interactions that happened in the same place. Funny thing about the whole series, the whole concept, is that the hotel is located in Poland after the Second World War. So that was the prerequisite of the entire
Also, you're
story.
removing some credit because you also came up with the whole concept for the short film.
Yeah, it was fun to explore within the boundaries of that. And In Her Shoes tells the story of the maid who is trying to realize a breakup and go through the phases of disconnecting with her lover and realizing that she has to let go but being unable to do so. So in her emotional state of
Sadness, grief
Sadness,
of loss of a
okay.
relationship. Maybe a little bit of delusionality there as well.
She becomes very delusional, she becomes deeply
Wow.
invested in it and goes to desperate measures.
Wow, that is very interesting actually. And how did you come up with this idea?
It was interesting for me to explore the historical time from a perspective of a woman who has to deal with something so simple as a breakup, but having so much emotional burden that she cannot process it truly. So I think it started from there, and then everything else just layered until the other elements came through, and we decided that this woman has been through a lot, and she has also interesting mechanisms of behavior.
Okay.
And I'm very happy that also she ended up being gay in our film. So
Yeah, though I guess
Nice.
it's not actually that like relevant. Like we don't really comment on how gay people were treated in 50s Poland or anything, but it just kind of is a natural story that has that element in it.
it became also like part of the character building.
Yeah.
And you mentioned before that it was filmed in the hotel of Poland 1920s. How? Where did you find the hotel? Or you built it by yourself? Or how was it done?
It's over there. It's in the film studio.
Okay. It was in our film studio here in BFM, right?
Everything was shot, no, not everything, almost everything was shot in the studio, and the studio, me and a couple of other students from our course designed together with Renel, who was our production design coordinator. And it was very interesting also to make the walls work as they would really if it was a real place. And yeah.
And how long did it take to build the studio?
That depends on what you count as building it for us, because they were building it for like a month before any of us started filming, but then each individual person also had to add their own props and their own situation. Like we had special clothes and sheets and candles, obviously, within the film, and that was all added by us, but then the actual set building, that took like, I don't know, 3 weeks, a month more.
Okay. It is very interesting to know about your actual set, but also the post-production part is not less interesting. So Olivers, you were an editor, so maybe you can tell me what was the most complicated for you as an editor in this project?
It's very abstract in its storytelling, so it was kind of hard to make it concrete and visible. I think I can't necessarily say what was the hardest or most interesting, but I can say what was the most fun.
That's amazing.
There's a musical sequence in the middle of the film where we have this really beautiful jazz track playing that you got someone from Bulgaria to record, right? Yeah, and I had to, and I basically just went full surrealistic with it, with the main character, the maid, dancing along to it, trying to kind of feel the other character that she was in love with, or kind of in love with, like had that obsession with, and trying to represent that obsession through the way that she's dancing.
Okay.
Also, I just got to edit cuts to the beat, and that's always fun. I love editing to music.
I mean, I actually really like the music while watching your movie.
Yeah.
And also, let's take a look now on the backstage pictures and videos from this set. Okay, so this was the backstage video from the filming In Her Shoes, and I think the pictures are also very, very nice. But now I would love to continue with more like personality-based in this movie. So as far as I know, it is pretty common for the directors that all their movies somehow influence their lives or something like this. And for you, how the creation of In Her Shoes changed your personally and your perception of film industry as well?
This is the first time that I actually get to direct fiction-based project that like I can decide what happens and where it happens and how to like transport it to the screen language. And it was incredible experience because on the set I learned a lot about the ways of choosing the shots, preparing them, how to figure out already before having the material how you're gonna edit it and how you're gonna fix it, and how you're gonna portray which perspective to use. Like all of those little details came true to be extremely hard to learn actually.
Okay.
But I think that for me it's actually made me set my eyes on the path that I want to follow and the fact that I actually want to become a director and I want to direct more projects.
Okay, so it was very influential for you then?
It was incredible. Like,
okay.
I know that it's a thing that I enjoy and the thing that I want to get better at and do most.
Wow, that's amazing. And maybe you can also describe how does the student film set looks from the behind the scenes?
The film set is a mechanism and every person there is a unit. It's like the human body, every organ does a specific thing. And it's interesting how the mechanism adapts to the certain environment and with the different people in the teams, because we worked in different teams over the different projects. So you learn how people work and how to find the proper way so that every piece of the mechanism will work concretely and on point. And it was great to see the people that like we study with in this environment as well, because we're not only friends but also colleagues at this point. So
Yeah, comparing it to a human body is actually really good because like it really is just all built to meld together, and you as the director are basically the brain. Like
I thought I'm the heart.
maybe the brain is the producer, making sure you don't go over budget with your heartfelt nonsense.
We had an amazing producer, Mark Pervakov, was great in this role as well.
Okay. And is it difficult to build this like working mechanism, considering the fact that you're students right now?
In this project, it was rather easier because everyone who was head of department, the production designer, the director of photography, even the sound engineers, like everyone knew exactly what we were trying to achieve, and we communicated with them the concept and the goals and the details that we want to have. And my favorite example of this will be with the candles. Mostly the film is lit by candles, at least. We tried to have it lit by candles.
You tried to have it lit by candles.
And that's an interesting thing. When you have candles on set, whose responsibility is the candles? Apparently it's everyone's responsibility.
Okay.
And our designer was constantly working with our gaffer and the DOP to figure out where to place the candles, how to put them exactly, when to have them lit, when to have them put off. And it was very funny piece of the whole situation. After every take, kill the candles, light the candles, kill the candles, light the candles. And we had a fire safety person on set, which turned out to be
necessary.
very useful.
Oh, useful. So you had some accidents on the set.
No, let's call them happy conundrums. No accidents.
Okay.
If the professors are watching.
We did not set anything on fire.
That's true.
Every possibility of fire was handled.
That's the most important. The most important. Okay, and also, as far as I know, AV media program requires trying like several roles on different sets, right?
Yeah, well, there can be some complications there because often we have the pitching process where you have to pitch your project to get through and be able to direct, and it's sometimes the case that people never end up getting some role or another, especially director, because almost everybody except for like a couple people are going for director in this. But
it's very competitive.
Okay.
when you do actually get to experience like every role, it is quite good to learn how to work with a team in every single layer of the hierarchy. Because a film set is a hierarchy. It's a very strict hierarchy with director, producer and DOP on top and everybody else in their own like pyramid below. And learning how to operate within that, maybe not pyramid, but just that hierarchy really helps.
And I also know that you have a separation on creative and technicals. So who are you guys?
Creatives. We're both creatives.
I'm a creative, though the next first years I would be a technical because I like editing, that's my favorite
Okay,
thing.
so basically during the studies you can switch from one to another.
You can, but I'm not going to. I just love editing personally, and editing is quite a lot more in philosophy technical than it is creative, though there's very much a mix of both, so I can see why the school system works like that.
A mix of both. That's very interesting. So what is actually being an AV media student?
Whew.
Oh, bro, I don't know.
Being a Navy media student is connected with film to a big extent, and it gives you the option to see, to touch everything that is the base, the particles of making a film. And you start with learning everything about the equipment, the practices, the mechanism, my favorite word this time, about the systems, and then being creative or technical, you specialize in one or the other selection of subjects. As for creatives, we do directing, producing, script writing, and production design and editing. And I think there is something very useful about that, because when we work on different projects, all of the people have tested different roles, and they have been a production designer and an editor and a director, and when they come to the role of, for example, producer, they already know how the different roles will work and what they will need in advance. So I think by the second year of the course, we already know what is required of us and how to help the other people who have other tasks, because we've done them as well.
It does there's still some variability, but generally that's correct. It does take a while for you to be able to get into that though, because like I still have never done production design, and I only have 1 year left, so I don't have to. But like,
And I've never edited.
yeah. So there's
Okay,
still
so
some
you
limits,
choose
but-
what you like. You have a possibility to choose, right?
And to some extent you do. It's like I said, the directing, you have that pitching process, but otherwise there's quite a lot of, like, you just text someone, say, hey, what's up? Can I be your AD? And they're like, sure, let's go.
Nice.
I mean, half of the crew that we got in those semesters were just people texting us or us texting them, being like, please.
And it's great because if you like one of the selected projects, you can always be part of it. There is always need for more people.
Yeah.
Okay. And to finalize it, can you please share each of you one tip for people who want to join the AV Media program?
Uh-oh. Spend a while thinking about it first, maybe. No. I don't know. What do you think?
Make sure you know why you're getting into it, because as long as you're passionate, it will have advantages and it will help you develop your skills and learn more things. But if you're rather doubting it and questioning it, maybe it's not for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say something like, don't rush in, because AV Media, I went straight from high school to AVM, and that was, this is true, a mistake. There definitely is some prerequisite of knowledge that comes very useful in this course specifically.
Okay.
I had the same experience straight from high school, and I realized that maybe I should have taken a gap year before.
Okay. Thank you very much for your tips, and thank you very much for joining our show today. And now let's watch the last part of the In Her Shoes teaser. Here we have it. I learned a lot from Gergana and Olivers about their amazing film and AV Media study program. To learn more about different projects, check out the other interviews from the Sick of It, and to discover the various programs within BFM, make sure to visit the Tallinn University website. Who knows, maybe you will be the next one sitting in this chair. I was your host Lisa, thank you for joining me today. Stay tuned for the upcoming Bob Gala.